friends, I already know you're not going to really like this video. I'm going to have so much hate. Maybe, I mean, as most of you know, I live in South Florida. Like, in the heart of the Everglades, basically. If you don't know what the Everglades are, Florida is probably half Everglades. Actually, Florida was mostly Everglades until this company known as Disney actually came in and we started clearing out the Everglades because we didn't realize how useful it was, and we put the big theme park there for money reasons, right? We have since found out that the Everglades are actually hugely important to our ecosystem, which is, that's nature. That's why it was in this area, because nature obviously knows better than we do. So the Everglades, they're slowly trying to get the Everglades back to being restored in a sense. The reason I'm talking about the Everglades today is because the Everglades is home to a lot of different species. One of the most well-known species to pretty much anybody that comes to Florida is the alligator. Alligators are everywhere here. It's not like you're going to drive around in the main city and see an alligator on the street, but for example, I live on a canal, and although they do some kind of grading in the canals to keep the alligators out of them, you will find an alligator round and about sometimes in the neighborhood. My husband says that when he was a child, the house we live in now, which is his childhood home, actually had an alligator in the pool. And they used to have a fence around the house. We had the fence put in after we moved it there because we have small animals, and being right on the canal especially, you definitely don't want that kind of stuff in your yard. There does not need to be a sign anywhere in South Florida, or really anywhere, for me to know not to swim in a pond, a lagoon, a lake, a canal, a river, whatever. Anything that says no swimming. There doesn't even need to be a sign. Like, I just know common sense tells me not to go swimming in that canal. Now, there are different places here. Like, we have springs up in the middle and the top of the state that are different. Like, they're springs. That's what they are. They're not hot springs. They're cold as fuck. But if you look, last year I went actually and visited a couple springs up in Ocala, and there are actually signs in the springs where you are swimming that there are certain designated areas you can't swim in because there are alligators known in those areas. I canoed in Alexander Springs, and there were a lot of gators where I was canoeing. Not one approached me, got near me, nothing like that. I go to the Everglades all the time. I go to Shark Valley, I go down Loxahatchee for sunset, and not one time has an alligator attacked anybody that I've been around, and I have seen a lot of gators. If you follow me on Snapchat at all, you will see when I go there, we're counting 15, 16, 17 gators at sunset. The reason we see so many gators is because fuckbags feed them. The signs don't say don't feed the gators because we're trying to be mean to the gators and not give them a fucking treat, right? The sign says don't feed the gators so that they don't get used to getting fed and not afraid of humans and then attack a human, because we are not supposed to interact with a fucking gator. Well, like at Loxahatchee, if I go to Loxahatchee and I go to the boat ramp, literally you see the gators swim the fuck over because people feed them. Okay, so then here comes the problem. The problem then is that they are used to seeing people, which is not good, guys. That's not good. The reason it's not good is because of what happened in Orlando last night actually. So yesterday evening, there was a family at one of the Disney resorts, and hello genius, the resort has a fucking pool for you to swim in. So if you want to go fucking swimming, you go in the pool. So there's a lake on the property. There's a lake on a lot of properties. It's a lagoon. They call it a lagoon on that property. Well, There are signs all over that property that say no swimming. Now, it did not say I've not seen any kind of Gator sign, which at first I had heard mixed things on, but there definitely are no swimming signs. Now, the reason, guys, the reason rules are made, or like that sign is put up, is because there is a hazard there. That's why they say no swimming. It's a non-lifeguarded place. It is, they don't have the insurance for them to swim in there. It has alligators in it because it is a natural habitat for animals like that. Anyone with a brain knows alligators feed at dawn and dusk. Any type of animal like that. When I go to the beach for sunrise, we don't get in the ocean right at sunrise because that's feeding time. That's common sense. If it's not common sense, then maybe you need to be a little more careful around water or wildlife. I just watched the news presser with the sheriff investigating the case. He stated that the family was picnicking along the shore, basically. They have a 4-year-old son that was playing up on the embankment, I guess, and the 2-year-old was splashing around in the water where it said no swimming. But this idiotic reporter from the press or somebody says, well, the sign didn't say no wading. The sign said no swimming, which the kid was not swimming. Listen, I'm not trying to minimize a really tragic situation, guys. I'm really not, because that's fucking sad. But you know what's even more fucking sad to me? Is that 5 alligators are going to die. 5 alligators are going to die. They have trapped 5, and they will continue to hunt them down there. Disney has I forgot what they called it. I want to say like open contract or something with Florida Wildlife, so that Florida Wildlife can come and get gators if they seem to be a problem in that area or whatever. They call Florida Wildlife, and they actually have their own staff on hand. You're not allowed to handle an alligator in the state of Florida or feed an alligator. It's illegal, but they have certain staff on hand that's allowed to handle the alligator to remove it if it becomes a problem on the premises. Guys, you have to remember, we took their home and put entertainment in it. This is their home. Their home, guys. So, to be mad because nature is crazy. You can't be mad at that. What you need to be mad at is the entitled fuckbags that blatantly disregarded the do not fucking swim sign, because they felt that they were entitled to swim in the lagoon, lake, whatever the fuck it is. They felt entitled to ignore the fucking sign. And when you don't obey the rules, sometimes shit happens. And the sign is there for a fucking reason. You know, my friend and I, we do a lot of exploring here in Florida. A lot of exploring. There are signs everywhere for things like this all the time. And you just don't do it. We go swimming in blue holes, or we go, we find different places. But if something says no swimming, or alligators, or beware of bears, or whatever, then bitch, we're on our fucking A game. Every day that I go to the beach, the place I go to there's a little bit of public beach, but most of it's private. And the private, there's a sign that says like private beach, walk through only, which if you don't know what that means that beach is private. People pay for that to be their own private beach, and you're allowed to walk through it, but you cannot lay a blanket out and chill. You're not supposed to do that. Well, people every fucking day, entitled fuckbags, are setting up camp over there like they own the motherfucking place, and like they're just allowed to do whatever it is that they feel they want to do, because god damn it, I'm entitled because I'm an American and this is America. It's so ridiculous, the entitlement in this country. It is so ridiculous, the entitlement people have whenever it comes to anything like this. And now Disney will be sued. Disney will definitely be sued because they didn't have an alligator sign up or whatever, even though it's common goddamn sense in the state of Florida. Like, I just can't even believe that. That's like a snapping turtle fucking biting biting you and you getting a disease from it and dying. I mean, I'm totally reaching here. But then suing the state because they didn't put a sign up that there's a fucking snapping turtle or a leech or something in the water. I mean, you just common sense. You're in Florida, bitch. You're in Florida. There are alligators here. Like, there are also conflicting reports that the family was seen feeding alligators earlier in the day. Now, that's going to be hearsay, so whatever with that. At the end of the day, it's really fucking sad, right? It's sad this kid had to lose its life because its parents. It's not the kid's fault. The kid didn't know any better. He's 2 years fucking old. The kid didn't know any damn better. It is on the parents. I'm sorry, guys. It is 100% on the parents. It's called neglect, not paying attention to your children, just letting them do whatever the fuck they want to do, even when it's endangering to them. Well, that's all we have for you today, guys. Thanks so much for listening. I know I've been ranting a lot lately, especially on Snapchat or whatever, but mental illness, this happens sometimes and you just gotta deal with it. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, be nice to each other because remember, nobody likes a fucking asshole. Mwah. Bye, guys.